What if I told you that the perfect marriage proposal or wedding band could be found not in modern boutiques, but in the echoes of ancient tradition, specifically in how ancient tribes proposed and wed without ever needing a ring or a grand hall? Hello and welcome to this channel. Today we're diving deep into the chronicles of ancient customs, specifically the fascinating ways our ancestors sealed the bonds of matrimony long before the era of diamonds and wedding bells. Our journey takes us back to the roots of human tradition, a time when the concept of marriage was more than just an exchange of vows. It was a pact with nature, a testament to unity, and a celebration of life's most fundamental partnership. No rings, no gold, no grand halls. Yet ancient tribes celebrated marriage with a depth and power we rarely see today. Their unions weren't sealed by jewels or contracts. They were sealed by nature, by the land, by the very air they breathed. In places where survival was a daily battle, love wasn't about promises whispered under bright lights. It was about actions, about proving devotion with every step, every shared meal, every shelter built together. Imagine a wedding where the witnesses were trees, rivers, and stars, where the vows were silent but unbreakable. That was the marriage of ancient tribes. Picture this: rugged landscapes, skies adorned with 1,000,000 stars, and a community bound together not just by blood but by their shared existence in the wild. This is the setting of our story, where the concept of marriage wasn't confined to a single day, but was woven into the very fabric of their lives. The ceremony began with simple gestures, no need for fancy attire or expensive gifts. A man would bring food from a successful hunt, not to impress, but to show he could provide. A woman would offer crafted tools or woven cloth, not as a gift, but as a promise of partnership. There were no priests, no audience clapping, only families, close community, and the wild that surrounded them. The tribe's elders might mark the union with blessings made of smoke from sacred herbs. Sometimes the couple would stand beneath an ancient tree, a tree that had seen generations before them, and leave offerings at its roots. The tree became their witness, the wind their song, the earth their bond. Instead of exchanging rings, they might exchange tokens shaped from bone, wood, or stone. Small symbols carved by hand, filled with meaning, worn on cords around the neck or wrist. These weren't about wealth, they were about memory, a reminder of the day two lives became one. The night would end with a feast, not grand, but heartfelt. Every villager brought what they could: meat, roots, fruits, and drink. The couple shared the first bite together, a simple act that sealed their union more than any gold band ever could. Ancient tribes wove their marriages into the rhythms of nature, ensuring that the bond wasn't just between two people, but with the world that sustained them. Now let's dive deeper into the heart of this tradition, the tokens that symbolized commitment instead of rings. These weren't mere baubles, they were pledges etched in stone or bone, imbued with the stories of their creation and the promises they represented. Imagine a young man venturing into the forest, not as a hunter, but as a suitor. He seeks a special stone, one that catches the sunlight just right, or perhaps a sturdy piece of wood from a tree that has stood the test of time. His task isn't about finding the most valuable material, but the most meaningful. It's about the journey, the connection to the natural world, and the intention he pours into his quest. When he returns with his chosen item, it's not a finished product, but a canvas. With tools crafted from the earth itself, he carves, polishes, and shapes his find into a symbol of his love, of his commitment. Each stroke is a prayer, each curve a promise whispered to the elements. The final piece isn't just a memento, it's a conversation starter, a reminder, and a shield against the trials of their nomadic life. This custom wasn't merely a tradition, it was an education. It taught respect for the land, patience, purpose, and the value of enduring commitment. Each token was unique, just like the love it represented. Some were smooth and round, symbolizing the cycle of life. Others were sharp and angular, reflecting the strength needed to survive in a harsh world. Some bore etchings of animals, spirits, or the celestial bodies that guided their paths. And some held the imprints of hands or footprints, forever linking the maker with his creation. But the true brilliance of this system lay in its simplicity and adaptability. If a token was lost or broken, it could be replaced. But in doing so, the act of creation was relived, reaffirming the bond with each passing generation. It wasn't about displaying wealth or adhering to rigid customs. It was about expressing love and devotion through the most fundamental means imaginable, the act of making something from nothing. Now let's turn our attention to the ceremonies themselves. The rituals that turned a simple union into a profound celebration of life and partnership. The ceremonies honoring these unions were as diverse as the tribes themselves, yet they shared a common thread, a profound connection to the natural world. Imagine standing in a clearing bathed in the golden light of dawn. The air is alive with the scent of pine and damp earth. The only sound, the gentle murmur of the nearby stream. Here, the concept of marriage wasn't confined to a church or a banquet hall. It was celebrated in the open arms of the wilderness itself. The rituals varied from tribe to tribe, each adding its unique flavor to the blend of love, respect, and devotion. Some ceremonies involved the exchange of not just tokens, but also personal vows spoken in the privacy of the couple's first home. Others featured dances, not choreographed steps, but spontaneous expressions of joy and unity, echoing the rhythms of the wild. In some tribes, the bond was symbolized by the sharing of a meal, not just any meal, but one prepared by both families coming together, blending their culinary traditions into a tapestry of flavors. Each dish, each ingredient carrying with it generations of knowledge and cultural pride. Fire played a central role in many ceremonies, not just as a source of light and warmth, but as a purifier, a witness, and a connector. The flames danced as the couple pledged their love, their flames mirroring the passion and commitment they had for each other. Some tribes incorporated storytelling into their rituals, not fairy tales, but narratives of courage, love, and resilience. Tales that had echoed through their communities, shaping their values and traditions. And always there was the natural world, not just a backdrop, but an active participant. Mountains, rivers, and ancient trees were not just revered, they were engaged with. Their presence acknowledged, respected, and honored. The earth itself seemed to bless the union, becoming a silent partner in the commitment being made. It wasn't about extravagance or adhering to a rigid script. It was about authenticity, about expressing love and unity in a way that resonated with the deepest parts of their souls. Now let's talk about the reception, the post-ceremony celebration that followed these unions. It wasn't about five-star hotels or expensive party halls. It was about the warmth of community, the joy of shared existence, and the promise of a life lived together. After the ceremony, the festivities would start not with champagne toasts, but with heartfelt meals shared by the entire community. It was a time for everyone to come together, not just to celebrate the couple, but to strengthen the bonds within the community itself. The menu was as varied as the landscapes they inhabited, from hearty stews of wild game to dishes featuring the bounty of the land. Each bite was a testament to the tribe's resourcefulness, their connection to the earth, and their ability to transform the simplest ingredients into nourishing feasts. Dancing followed, not formal routines, but spontaneous expressions of joy and unity. The rhythm was set by drums, their beats echoing the heartbeat of the community. The steps were as diverse as the dancers themselves, each movement telling a story, which twirled a tale of love, life, and the cycles of nature. As the night deepened, the celebrations would continue with storytelling. Not bedtime stories, but narratives of courage, love, and resilience. Tales that had echoed through generations, keeping their history, values, and traditions alive. The stories wove a tapestry of shared identity, reminding everyone of the strength that lay in their unity and the importance of preserving their cultural heritage. For ancient tribes, the reception wasn't just a party. It was a reaffirmation of their values, their traditions, and the strength that lay in their unity. It was a celebration not just of the couple, but of the community and the shared journey they were all on together. Now we reach the dawn of a new day, a day that marks not just the beginning of a new chapter for the couple, but a symbolic integration into the world. As the sun rises, painting the sky with hues of hope and promise, the newly bonded couple steps out into the world together. Their first steps aren't taken alone. They're accompanied by the community, by the very essence of their world, the land, the water, the trees, the mountains, and the sky. It's as if nature herself is sending them off on their journey together. They're not just two individuals embarking on a new phase of life. They're a representation of the community, a tangible link between the people and the world they inhabit. Their path forward is shared, their joys, their struggles, their survival, their growth. It's all intertwined. And as they venture forth, they carry with them the lessons of their ancestors. The respect for nature, the value of community, and the importance of enduring commitment. They've learned that love doesn't need grand displays, that commitment doesn't need precious metals, and that life's greatest partnerships are sealed not just with words, but with actions, understanding, and shared purpose. As we conclude this journey into the heart of ancient tribal traditions, we're left with more than just historical insights. We're presented with a mirror that reflects the essence of human connection, the beauty of commitment, and the wisdom of living in harmony with the world around us. In a world that often celebrates the extravagant and the ephemeral, these traditions serve as an anchor, reminding us of the timeless values that have sustained humanity through the ages. We see a profound respect for nature, a deep sense of community, and a commitment to creating partnerships that are not just enduring but enriching. These ancient practices don't belong in museum displays or dusty history books. They resonate with a power that transcends time, offering us a path forward in a world that often seems to have forgotten the depth and meaning of human connection. Perhaps it's time to rediscover the wisdom of our ancestors, to rewrite our own stories of love and commitment in a way that honors both the grandeur of our emotions and the simplicity of our existence. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Share your thoughts below and join the conversation. Thank you for watching.